Brian Lewis, New York Post. Welcome back. Um, I guess the obvious question is just where are you in terms of your health and your progress, in terms of your ability to do 5-on-5 and contact and
No,
all
where
the
I'm at,
various
I'm
things.
playing. I'm playing. So I'm back on 5 and 5, and I'm back on the court playing. So
Ben, Evan Barnes, Newsday. For you, I guess, just how good does it feel to be back to where you want to be? It seems like, we talked to Jacques, we talked to Sean Marks. They said you're doing everything you want to do. How does it feel for you to kind of get back to the level that you want to be at?
amazing. I get to do my job, and that's a blessing. Every day I don't take it for granted. I just come in here and do my job. To the best of my ability, I'm grateful to be back and just on the court playing and doing what I love.
Jake Fisher with Yahoo Sports. Ben, a couple of years ago, you did not take part of Media Day, obviously. That's happening now in Philadelphia. Do you remember what you actually did that day? Like where you were, what you kind of
Next
at the
question.
time? Okay.
Hey Ben, Alex Raskin.
Years ago, you did not.
Oh my
Jake Fisher
god.
with Yahoo Sports. Ben, a couple of years ago, you did not take part of Media Day, obviously. That's happening now in Philadelphia. Do you remember what you actually did that day? Like where you were, what you kind of
Next
at the
question.
time? Okay.
The fuck?
Hey Ben, Alex Raskin, Daily Mail. Um, it seems like maybe because there's not a lot of talk about the Nets right now compared to the Celtics or compared to the Bucks, there's maybe a little bit less attention on this team. Do you like that you're coming into an atmosphere this year with a little bit less pressure, less eyes on you?
I think it's just a different situation, but at the same time, we're here to do our job. I don't think it's really about the media or the attention, because if we do our job to the best of our abilities and we're doing what we need to do, then media will be here. So it comes with the territory.
Hey, Ben, Peter Splendorio with New York Daily News. How are you kind of just envisioning your role in this team this year, and what are you hoping to achieve this season?
Point guard, one of the older players now, so a leader, of course, and just setting the example, leading by example, doing what I can on the court to help my teammates win, and just trying to get better every day and building that chemistry.
Hi, Brooke with the Players Tribune. What are you most excited about this year's squad?
I think that it's a fresh start, for everybody. Last season we had a lot of different things going on. I think just for everybody to have like a settle.
I had to make my water. Yep. Did you go or no? I said, did you go or no? Oh, okay.
Start to where we know our teammates, coach, and we can build a real identity.
Ben, Eric Slater with Clutch Points. We've obviously heard about your improved health this offseason. Last year when you came back, you re-aggravated the back fairly quickly. So is it just a matter of being another year removed from that surgery, or are you taking different measures and approaching things differently to prevent re-aggravation?
I think it's a bit of both. So I think it was the time to properly heal. I think I was definitely wasn't healed during the season last year, but I was doing what I could to get in the court and play. But taking that time, taking the summer to focus on my body and get it to a place where I felt that strength come back and let that area heal.
Simone Sandro Gazzetta dello Sport. There's been some talk that the lineup with you and Nick Claxton is not going to be very sustainable for extended minutes. What do you think about that?
Oh, we gotta play together, So that's like, who said that?
No, I'm just saying for characteristic in today's NBA, it might seem not very sustainable. So I wonder what you do.
I can probably answer that. Give us like 30, 40 games.
Hi, Ben. Jenna Lemoncelli with the New York Post. You have been open about how you're feeling great health-wise, and you've also been open about your mental health. How have you been working on that this summer, and where are you at in that standpoint?
I feel great. I think as it is physically, and mental is very important, so it's just doing the things that work best for you. For me, it's a lot of meditation, and then physically, I think that's all a part of it too. So when you're at your best physically, that helps your mental also. So it's being in a place now, it's just great, and I'm very blessed to be able to get in the court and play.
Ben, Alex Raskin again from the Daily Mail. Do you expect to play point guard this year? Is that your desire? And a few of your teammates were in here earlier saying that you're pushing the ball, dictating the pace. Do you feel like you're in the best position to play point guard that you've been?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
And you do expect to play point guard this year?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like when you're on the floor, you're a player. I don't think there's specific roles. I think for me, it's just being somebody that can facilitate, get to the rim, get to the line, and just doing multiple things. I don't want to be put into one box. I think when I'm on the court, I'm just a player.
Melissa Yangnetz, how excited are you about the defensive potential of this team?
I can't wait. I think it's kind of scary when you have multiple guys on the floor that can guard 1 through 5. And that's just going to lead to pace and transition. So it's exciting to have guys on the floor that are very talented in that area.
Hey Ben, Joe Gilly, Close Up 360. You mentioned the meditation and everything that you're doing off the court. Is there anything else that, from a personal point of view, away from basketball, that you can attribute to how you are feeling at the moment?
Consistency. I think I'm just being very consistent with the things that work for me, and that's huge. I think some people may do it for a little bit and they see a little improvement and then they stop doing it. But I think just being consistent with whatever works for you is very important.
For sure.
When you were playing last year, I think it was obviously pretty clear to most people that you were not physically where you wanted to be. But for you to get to the point where you're on the same page with Jacques, how did you get to that point? Did you have to get healthy to get to that point, or did you have to get to that point first and then that helped your mental?
I think our relationship was a little up and down, obviously, from the start. It's hard for a coach to really trust and believe in you when he's not seeing it, right? And I'm not able to physically do it, and he can't see it, then, as a coach, I'll do the same thing. Well, I'm not going to play you if, you're not able to compete and do the things, I know you can do, right? So I think just this summer I've taken the time to get healthy, obviously. He came down to Miami a few times and saw me. I think that's what it was. He's able to see me get healthy, put the work in, put the time in, and focus on myself, and show him that I want to, play at this level and be the point guard and do these things. So I think that comes with, we speak about it as grace. When you put that work in, you're going to get grace from, the surrounding people, your teammates, your coaches, and staff. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Did you know most dish soaps don't remove all the grease, even with scrubbing?
What? I just cleaned those.
Try Dawn Platinum. It removes.
Fried rice.
Stir-fried noodle.
What's up, everybody? Hey, what's up? Okay, I'm trying to talk.
What's been your biggest adjustment so far in the last couple of weeks with the new players that you've met here in DC?
That's it. Just meet new players. Just kind of figuring out their backstories, who they are as people. Of course, how they play on the court. But just kind of get a smooth transition. Slowly, just figuring out who we're going to be spending our time with throughout the season and things of that nature.
And Kuz mentioned that you both have similar backgrounds with playing off the basketball. How do you think that will be a seamless transition into the season this year?
Yeah, he had a really good point. Just being able to learn how to play off just such ball-dominant players, finding ways to continue to impact the game on the ball, off the ball, continue to be aggressive, kind of finding ways to, create mismatches throughout the course. So just using the knowledge that we both have been able just to gain over the course of our career and apply it to a new team, where we're able to kind of mold how we want to play. So it'll be pretty exciting.
Welcome to DC, Jordan. How excited are you to be in a different role in a different situation here?
Appreciate you having me. I'm excited just as a basketball player. This is the type of stuff that you work for. Really thankful for everything that I've learned prior to this part of my career, and being able to come and apply that with such a competitive group of guys. So just being able to apply everything that I've learned and
maybe make this a free agent destination for guys.
Yeah, I mean, every time you get on the court, you want to have other players come play for you, play with you, and I think that's something that we're just trying to build, not only as an organization but as a city. And being able to just have the culture that we have, build the foundation on the court with the teammates, with the guys, new front office. I think we're building something special here, and definitely something that a lot of people can get ready to get on board with.
You and Kuz were already both NBA champions before you got here, so how will those experiences kind of inform your roles as like the faces of this Wizards franchise?
It's just high-level basketball. We were able to experience the highest level of basketball that there is, learn from so many great players, and being able to apply what we have learned. And we're still young too, right? So we're still able to learn. We're still kind of able to mold our own, our own games and play off of each other, learn from one another. But being able just to be in high pressure moments, high pressure situations, know what it's like to change teams, know what it's like to sacrifice for the betterment of a game, for the series, the team. It's tremendous, just to be able to know that, and also just be able to share that, with guys who want to get to that level, who want to be in that situation, and just kind of learn and grow as a group.
And then one more question. By the time your time in Golden State was coming to a close, did you sense this shakeup was coming, or were you kind of taken by surprise?
I mean, as a fan of sports, you can get traded at any time. We had just won a championship. Players get traded all the time, so it's kind of something that you prepare for, because it's a part of the beast. But when one door closes, another one opens. I feel like something that's pretty special, and yeah.
Hey Jordan, welcome again to DC. I'm curious for you, just what motivated you and Kuz getting guys together, off-season homes. I know you guys don't want to get too much into it, but what's the benefit of that, and what motivated you to do that?
Yeah, we know what it takes to build a championship culture, and it starts with chemistry. It starts with being able to go and play, for your teammates, not just with your teammates. You got to really know who they are as people. So just being able to spend time over the course of the summer, get together. I think they knew how important it was, as well as coming to a new team. We want to come and hit the ground running right away. And, me and Kuz have been in a situation like that before, even Tyus, playing with really good teams. It's a lot of stuff that is just more than basketball that you need to do in order to build that foundation. And, that's just something that we thought would be a good idea, to kind of get going in the summer.
Just as you've gotten to know Coach Unseld, these last few months, where do you think that he's going to be able to put you in, positions to thrive this season?
Yeah, with the new team, I think just the players and the core that we have. We have rim runners, we have speed, we have length, we have shooters. We can space the floor. So being able just to kind of figure out what's the best way to put guys in their positions to be successful. I think that's something that he really focuses on. And it's huge, so being able just to figure out what we want to do, how we want to play off each other, what's, best capable for which player at what time, it'll be really exciting to kind of figure that out.
Hey, Jordan. What would you say has been the biggest thing you've learned about yourself personally from everything that transpired the last year and a half in Golden State, getting traded, ending up here, and now kind of building something different than what you've been used to? What would you say you've learned over the past few months?
Resilience, of course, like that one. Over preparation, just being able just to take in everything that I've taken in to the fullest at all times. There's never a day that I took it for granted. Never knew what the situation would be, but being able just to know what lied in front of me at the time, and being able to now get the chance to apply everything that I've learned to a really special situation from scratch. And not a lot of people get that opportunity, especially being a young player, winning the championship, being able to play with, alongside players who are also young, who are also motivated, who are also won championships. As a basketball player, as a kid, you want to grow up and be able just to, be the face of a franchise, and it's a really cool situation because I feel like I've learned, I've asked enough questions, a lot of questions to be prepared for this moment, and we also got guys in the locker room who are also ready for this as well. So just taking advantage of being prepared and just being resilient.
And then taking that, how do you want to impact not just on the floor in DC, but the community as a whole within the DMV, because they're a huge sports city. They love their Wizards. They love their Commanders. They're big fans. So what type of impact do you want to have off the court within the community?
Amazing. That off the court approach, off the court presence matters just as much as it does on the court, right? We need the city. We need the supporters. We need people at the game just because it gives us energy to go out there and win and fight every single night. Every time I would come and play with DC, I was telling somebody, I love playing at Capital One. Every time we play at Capital One, it's just like you feel the energy, and you can just tell that the city is looking for something to positively get behind. And I think we know that in the locker room, and now we have the opportunity to really start from the ground up and really, build all of that. And just being in the community means so much, just because you have the opportunity to impact so many people's lives. Youth is something that's huge to me personally, impacting them positively, giving them hope, giving them motivation, and all of that matters. So just being able just to see the rise, see where we start, and just to see the togetherness that we build over these next couple of years would be dope.
Hi, Jordan. On a related note, just what are your first impressions of living in D.C. and in the city?
I'm a fan. I didn't know much about D.C. prior to this. My sister goes, she's been enrolled at George Washington, so she was pretty excited when she heard the news. But how green it is, and also how real the people are. Just kind of casually walking throughout the course, wherever I go, I'll just ask a couple questions, and you get real answers. People are willing just to give you whatever information that they know. But it's been warm. It's pretty similar to home for me. Only being like an hour flight away, so.
And then Will Dawkins the other day said that he expects you to play on the ball more here. How would you describe the strides that you made in that area last season in Golden State?
I think Kuz was kind of talk about it, being able to play on the ball and off the ball. My role would be sometimes be a facilitator, get other people involved, run the offense, but then I would also have to be aggressive, score for our team, give us points. So just being able to be able to use both is a strength. You know, being able to have Tyus at the one, him being just so efficient with the ball, the way he runs the offense, quarterbacks the offense, the people involved, puts people in positions to be successful. I can be aggressive off the ball, running off the screens. I feel like that was something that I was able to learn and really apply to my game, at the highest level. So being able to do that, but also having enough experience to know that whenever I need to be aggressive or try to get a bucket or create for my teammates, I can also do that. So just being able just to make plays, be aggressive. Yeah.
Hi, Jordan. Over here.
Hey,
It's nice to meet you.
You too.
I am sorry if this was asked before, but I wonder if, with all these new faces and everybody kind of coming together from a bunch of different places, if you have a sense of the identity that this team could grow into. Obviously, it's going to take some time, but I don't necessarily even mean basketball. I mean in the locker room, or how you guys play, how you go about it. Do you have any sense of that yet?
Yeah, we have a really good mix. We got vets who played at the highest level before. We have young guys who are motivated and determined, right? But I think through all of this, the most promising quality that this locker room has is that we're competitive, night in and night out. I think you'll see guys just come and just play hard, just because we love the game of basketball, and in our open runs and when we play, you're seeing buckets go down every time, 10, 11. 9, 11, game point, like people fouling at the end of the game because you don't want the other person to win. Like you gotta go home all weekend sad, upset because you lost. You know what I'm saying? So just being able just to feel that, especially with a youthful group so early, it's exciting. Because when you know that the guy next to you is going out there ready to compete for war, it definitely is a warming feeling.
Hey Jordan, how are you?
So,
as a shooter in this new role, how green is your green light? Like ultra?
As green as DC. As green as DC. I like it. Coaches, giving me the opportunity to be me, essentially, play freely. And I think that'll just be really exciting. Just because I've always played the right way. It was never like a me type of play style. It's whatever is the next right play. If somebody's open because I was able to draw two, I'll get off the ball. You want to see other players succeed because you need everybody on your team in order to be successful. But just being able to go and play my game, be free, be able to call plays, be able to manipulate the game a little bit more, just be more hands-on. It'll be exciting. It'll be exciting.
One last thing. So you were really like randomly walking the streets and talking to strangers about what?
Just ask questions. Just if you be normal, you'll feel normal. But you want to lie, making a scene, it's 25 people walking with you, you're going to no. You just walk down the street, and if you got a question, ask, hey, where is this? How'd I get here? Where's the parking? Where's the food spots? Where the mumbo sauce? You know what I mean? And they always give me pretty good answers, which is cool.
You know that feeling of having to rewash dishes that didn't get clean? I don't.
Cascade Platinum Plus with double the Dawn grease fighting power and double the scrubbing power for a no rewash clean and a cabinet.
That grimy film on your teeth.
Dr. G?
It's actually the buildup of.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's a little quiet in here. Questions?
I'd like to go first. Quick.
DeAndre, good morning, DeAndre. Why do you see this as a good opportunity for yourself?
Well, new beginning. I get to show the world, show you guys who I am as a player, on and off the court when it comes to leading, especially helping young guys on this team win, teaching them how to win, teaching them how tough it is to win in this league as well.
There was a video of you making a tour of the facilities, and you said something about, I felt like I just got drafted again. What did you mean by that? And do you feel like you have just a sense of renewal coming here, leading a situation that got kind of a little weird for you?
Just the way I was welcome. and things happened so quickly. The trade happened, and I was done on the jet at a year to PDX, and it just felt like I got drafted, and I was on the jet to my next city that I was on call home. So walking in there, seeing my name, seeing everybody around me, some of the facility people and some of the front office people in the front just showing me love as soon as I touched down, and it really did feel like I got drafted, and I felt the love as soon as I walked in, and I was welcomed humbly. Most definitely. Like I said, coming on a fresh team with a bunch of young new guys and, me having a little bit of experience, I can help them, just teach them how to win and teach them how difficult this is, to win in this league and how you approach it.
DeAndre, how much does having those young guys energize you a little bit? I mean, I know you've only been here a little bit, but is it different energy than kind of where you were before?
You're just hungry. You can tell that they eager to learn. Coach Billups, he has those guys' heads on their shoulders where they're coming in on off days, just handling business, and guys who've been in the league for quite some time, they are a little hesitant with things like that. To see some young guys who barely have a year under their belt, just come in and take care of business on off days in the off season is pretty cool to see, because that's the type of energy I'm on. It don't matter how young we are, we still have to handle business.
DeAndre, Coach Phillips was just talking about how they're not going to give you the the Joel Embiid treatment where they're going to dump the ball into you 30 times, but he does expect your role to grow, and that seemed to be something that you wanted in Phoenix. Kind of what do you expect your kind of role to be on this team, not just as a veteran player amongst a bunch of young guys, but just kind of the ins and outs on offense and defense, is kind of where you kind of see yourself fitting in and taking advantage of situations?
Mainly just establishing myself, to let the team know that they can trust me, whether it comes to patience, with our young guys, and, just being that example setter when it comes to defense, and, being a vocal point where, I can just lead them and not, give them constructive criticism and, just helping them and being there for them, and, understanding that, the things they're going through, I'm going through as well. And, just guide them and just be there for them. I have guys that's been there for me, and, guys that were on me. So I think I know the terminology and how to pick people up and know my personnel.
DeAndre, this whole summer, obviously the Dane trade talks were kind of an ongoing thing for 3 months, and over those weeks there were different iterations of it that involved you. Like what kind of communication or heads up did you have, either from the Suns or from your agent, or just kind of the whole process of when did you kind of know like Portland might be a possibility? What was that whole process like for you?
I mean, on the day of it, I think midday, my agent called me and that was it. The GM for the Phoenix Suns came and brought me upstairs and told me that I got traded here, and then that was it. I thank him for handling it the way they handled it, and, just accommodating to my wishes, and here we are today.
You mentioned a fresh start. What's the biggest lesson you learned from Phoenix that you're hoping to kind of implement in this new chapter in your career?
Win. Every game counts. Win. And understanding that, this is a team's game. We need everybody on the team to contribute to just get one win, whether it's in the regular season or the postseason. Just understanding how to win the right way, and, what are we going to be known for in this league, when other teams play us.
Give odor the bird with the 24/7 lasting freshness of Old Spice Eagle Fangs deodorant.
Still fresh.
DeAndre, you're just 25, but you're a leader, right? You're a leader on this team now. You're one of the older guys on the team. Are you kind of embracing that leadership role?
I've been embraced it, even when I was on teams with guys older than me. I feel like, I've told them constructive criticism in the heat of moments. I've had my times where I had to speak, and, everybody's, talking when I speak, and, just times where it's a respectful thing, it's a respected thing. I put in work, I put in the time, and, there's times where you do have to say certain things for, get your point across the right way, to get the job done. We're on the same team to we're all on the same mission to get the job done. So that's one thing I can say is, just being that vocal point and consistently just, saying the right thing, no matter the moments.
Hey, DeAndre, welcome to Portland.
Thank
Curious about if you have any stories or experiences of coming to Portland over the years that may have stood out, whether that's, the fan base, playing against the Trailblazers, and also what your message would be to fans.
Yeah, I definitely know the fan base out here is phenomenal. I definitely came out here and got my ass whooped a couple times by 40. So I definitely know how the fans can get, when they're turned up. So that's the fun part. The fans is all in it, and we the show in town. So I'm trying my best to do what I can to just give you guys the best of me.
DeAndre, obviously this team, there's a bunch of young guards. How do you go about helping those guys kind of develop chemistry with you? Obviously you're going training camp. How do you kind of develop those guys, help them?
Yeah, and need some big guards as well. They're not no little guards. These dudes can, they pretty big. I'll say, just guiding them and letting them understand the physicality of the game. Creating chemistry through play. We have a big training camp coming up. I think that's going to be a mental thing. Just giving them certain terminologies that they'll use in the game. Coach will be on me on the defensive terms on how I must go about things, and just all of us just working together. We all young, none of us know it all, and that's the fun part about it. We're young and we get to learn, but we're very hungry, very.
DeAndre, for people that aren't familiar with you and your game, can you just kind of sum up what you bring to both sides of the floor and to the team in general?
Dominance. I bring dominance. My name is dominating. I play with a lot of passion.
So cringe.
No, you don't. A lot of grit as well, but I try to take the hypocrisy out the game where I'm telling my teammate one thing, I'm doing the other. I'm more like a team player who, I'll take the sacrificial. I'll make the sacrificial decision and take myself out, and less shots for me. But when it comes to winning, I'll be the down and the gritty guy to get the job done, close out possessions, and just take the blame on things like that.
DeAndre, for all your domination, if there has been a criticism of your game, it's been your motor, and that sometimes you're not as consistent as people want you to be. How do you counter that, and why do you think that is?
It's not countering anything. Look at the position I was playing in, the environment I was playing in. It can sometimes put toll on your mental. To be honest, I think I checked every list in the box, so a motor should not be anything of that. I've accomplished a lot of things where my motor is not a question. Playoffs, no matter what it is, I play the best I can play. I play hard as I can play. That won't be a question at all. That's one of the reasons why I told you guys this summer that I'll be changing the narrative. I'm with an organization that wants me and wants me to succeed. So there's a lot more passion when you feel that mentally, and you're seeing that physically as well. So it'll be a lot more grit and a lot more domination this year. All right, thank you.
Charmin reinvented the square for a smoother tear. Oh yeah, new Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear.
What's going on? Who's next?
Can you just help us understand, because it was just a little unclear, what's just your read on why you were not able to get back in the court last season after the re-aggravation of the hamstring? Last season you came to camp in really good shape. Looks like you came in camp in really good shape. So it seems like things went wrong when an injury occurred. Moving forward, what things will be different? Just like, hey, look, when something goes bad that you can't control, like reacting to that situation.
Pelicans have put in a lot of things this offseason to not only prevent stuff like that, but how to react to it in the best way possible. So I think what the Pels have done is good structure, and we'll see as the season goes.
And knowing how the last two seasons went, what did you want to do differently this summer to kind of change things for you and make sure you're more prepared this season?
Work on movements. Stayed in New Orleans for a big part of the summer, working with the Pels, being on the same page with them, my personal trainers. But just really locking into every aspect of my body.
And what went into the decision to spend more time in New Orleans this year than you did in previous off seasons?
Want to change. Want to change. I got to do something different. So, like I said, I sat down with the Pels and we came up with a great plan. I'm great mentally. Thank you for asking. I'm excited about my daughter. She's due in November. I'm really excited about that. But outside of that, I just love hooping. It's way hard to stay focused.
Done.
Things happen. Just how I respond to them. I think the best is still yet to come. Like I said, spent a lot of time in New Orleans this offseason, working with the Pelicans, and like I said, my personal trainers, and we made a lot of changes, and gonna see when the season starts.
Zion, Willie Green and Griff both said that you were capable of playing all five positions, but your best fit may be at five. Is that your feeling, or you feel comfortable in the offense right now from what you're dealing with?
Can you repeat the question?
They said that you're capable of playing all positions, but playing you at the five might be your best fit. Is that something that you feel is in this offense the way it's been running?
Who said that?
I don't know, Willie Green or Rip. I don't know.
Said my best fit was at the five.
Well, I mean, where you may be playing, or where they may play at five, or whatever. However it was said. Is that you feel like it is in this offense? Is there a position you feel most comfortable?
Yes, sir. I feel comfortable in all positions. I'm a basketball player. Simply want to win and impact the game. So my whole life, I trained to impact the game from all areas.
John, staying in the city, you had some outreach. You met with Kendall Banks, my guy, got all the for the motivated T-shirt and stuff like that. Can you talk about what's helped you get in a better mind frame? Staying in the city, you got more positive stuff from the fans, people that were reaching out to you, encouraging.
Just home. It was just home for me. It's a little upsetting that I have to sit up here all the time and have to tell people that this is home for me. This is where I want to be. But being in the city a lot more this summer was it was dope. Running into people in New Orleans, family. It was love always.
And you can't help but notice your first two smiles during this whole thing. You talked about either your family, your daughter, or the family that's had your back. Would you say that brings you the most happiness and helps you stay within yourself and stay true to yourself as a family and finding your smile that way?
Something like that. More so the mindset is I can help a lot of people. I can do things for a lot of people around me. But this past summer was if something happened to me, the mindset was if something was to happen to me where basketball wasn't there or something just happened to where life just changed, who would be there for me? Realistically, who would be there for me? And just had to come to that realization. And when it comes to family, And the city, always good. So I focus on that.
Since
An Olympic year, if you get through the season as you want to, and Team USA wants you in Paris, how would you feel about that?
If Team USA wanted me, that's a huge honor. But that would be something that I would have to think about when that time comes, and if the opportunity is presented to me.
since we've been around you, you mostly try to keep your private life private. You talked about the importance of your family and stuff like that. But how difficult was it this summer with a lot of people prying into stuff going on with you behind the scenes that you have kind of kept private before, but more of that stuff being out in the public now?
Booking.com.
Find great stays across the USA. From ski resorts.
When I want to share something about my family, I will. And as simple as that. That's how I am. That's how it's always been. When I want to share something about my family and my personal life, I will share it. If not, I don't.
Where's Rudy Gay, bro?
You're expecting a child, like, it changes you. How do you feel like it's going to change you and kind of make you a better version of yourself?
She's not even here yet, and it's already changed me. Like I said, family. Family and people who I know got my back. Lock in on that, focus on that, and outside of that, I don't really need much else.
Do you look at this more of a basketball question here? We still really don't know what this could be. There's glimpses of greatness in there. Do you look at this and say, we have potential greatness here with you and CJ and Brandon, and believe this could be special?
I do. I do think there's a lot of greatness within this organization, within this franchise, but I'm not about to sit up here and talk about it too much. We just have to show y'all.
Earlier, congratulations on your daughter.
Thank you.
Do you have any statistical benchmarks set for yourself this season, or do you just take the season as it goes?
To win with my brothers. Simple as that. I think they all feel the same way. We all got the same goal in mind. We want to win and we want to have fun.
Zion, having spent a lot of time here at the facility over the summer, did anything stand out to you from watching teammates out there going on runs or anything like that?
Yeah, a few things stood out to me. Before I get to my teammates, I'll start with front office staff. Griff, Trajan, Swin. Those three have been really helpful. They've supported me. They've had my back. And we all got the same goal in mind. And I think that's what family and, I think that's what just family is about. People having your back no matter what's going on and everybody wanting the best for each other. And what was the second part of your question?
I was just wondering, because you ran a couple times up and down the court with your teammates and stuff like that.
Teammates wise, y'all know Jose. Jose is Jose. But who I think y'all should look forward to, and I'm going to put pressure on him, is Trey Murphy. Even though he's currently out, Trey is going to be a problem. Trey is going to be a problem. I'm excited to see for him to return to the court. But, yeah, Trey is going to be a problem.
Trajan indicated that you felt like you wanted to be to grow into more of a leadership role, maybe in a vocal way and so forth, and then possibly you were frustrated that you developing into that was hindered by not being able to play as much. And I wanted to just get your take on how you look forward or how you see yourself being that way.
Before I can lead, I got to learn how to follow. I think B.I. and C.J. have done a great job with leading the team on and off the court. So, I would say those are our two leaders on this team, B.I. and C.J. They've been on the court. In tough moments, they're always the ones to say something to get the team going. And like you said, I got to grow into that leadership role. So hopefully over time I'm able to grow into it. Uh, y'all know I always listen to music, and I have an album or two. But for me, it was 3 albums that really got my mindset going. Uh, Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z, of course, Illmatic, Nas, and a more recent album, The Great Escape, by Larry June. I would say those 3 albums really helped get my mindset together, along with family and Pelicans helping me out as well.
We've heard you and your teammates speak a few times about how special December was for you guys, for you individually and for the team. I guess what really stands out to you about that time last year, and what are you hoping to carry over from that time into this season?
It was great. It was a great time, but I mean that was early in the season. We want to be at the top when the season's over.
The fuck?
That's our goal. That's what we're going to work towards. So, I mean, season didn't end the way we wanted to last year, but can't dwell on that. Just got to learn from it and get better.
From a basketball perspective, is there anything you can share what you worked on this offseason just in terms of your particular skill?
Wanted me to give a scouting report on myself. What I worked on was being unguardable.
Good job, Trey.
Ordinary dish
Shut the fuck up.
soaps can leave invisible grease behind. Only Dawn Platinum removes 99% of grease.
Unlike other toothpastes, Crest Pro Health antibacterial fluoride protects for up to 12 hours. Crest.
Hey, Anthony. How you doing? Good to go?
Where are you, Mike?
Oh, up to your right. There you go. Hey, dude, we just spoke to Rob and Darvin a couple days ago about the conversations in the offseason and the extension and kind of the mutual, like what they were expecting, what you wanted. Can you take us through that period and how that impacted your summer as you head into now this season?
It didn't. I mean, they offered the extension. I accepted. That was really it. My workouts didn't change, because of the extension or anything like that. So, let's say they contacted my agent. The agent contacted me. We had a meeting. That was really it.
Morning, bud. How you doing?
Good.
How do you and your teammates feel with the pressures, if it will, not only to have a successful season, but to win the whole thing? Because every year that statement is made about you and your team that you're going to win it, or at least get in the championship round.
Fucking all-star team.
We don't put pressure on ourselves. No pressure for us. We go out and compete at the highest level. Try to get better each and every day. We let the rest take care of itself. We do what we're supposed to do. Practice, games, shoot-arounds, film, and get 1% better every day. It'll help us win a lot of basketball games, which at the end of the day, we want to compete for championships, but, we don't go out and, day one of camp, all right, this is what we have to do. We're going to win the championship. We're going to do this. Things don't happen that way. So we do the little things, and hopefully that lead us to, hopefully putting up 18.
80, good to see you. Hey, so you won a championship with the Lakers with Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee as your teammates in the paint. What do you think of the additions of Jackson Hayes and Christian Wood, and how do you anticipate your role vacillating between the 4 and the 5 this year?
Jackson's very athletic, rim protector, lob threat, kind of like JaVale. C. Wood, scorer, can play on all 3 levels of the floor. So he's a little different from, Dwight, but they're 2, great bigs who can complement me very well. Me and Dar haven't had a chance to sit down and kind of figure out the role between 4 and 5 and things like that, but having those 2 guys, alongside me, can be a great thing, great possibility of doing good things on that front line. So we'll see how I play out. We go through camp. I know he's going to test out different lineups during preseason, and we'll see from there.
It is over here.
Bro,
the
oh
core
my
of the group
God,
that
keep
made it to
picking
the
up.
Western Conference
Fucking-
Finals,
Oh.
minus Dennis is back on this team. I think Austin on a podcast said something along the lines that you guys could sense Denver's continuity in that series, and the factor that was. How excited are you to enter a year coming off of winning and having continuity with this group, and what do you think that will allow this team to do more so this season than it was able to do last year?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have continuity, it's a lot easier, to start the season. Every year, we had new guys come in. That core is kind of, gone. And so it's a little tough when you're trying to, compete for championships. But I think now, that the core group, me, Austin Rui, D'Lo, Bron, Vando, like you say, everybody really that core group except Dennis, we're back, and it kind of gives us, kind of a head start going to this season into camp to kind of build up where we left off last year.
AD, over here. There's been a lot of buzz about your shooting. I think Austin mentioned it on a podcast, and Darvin and Rob talked about it. Where would you say your jump shot's at right now, and how much of it was that a point of emphasis for you this summer, just working on your jumper?
They're just getting back to
Oh
being
my
a
God,
threat
I got
on all
the
three
ball
levels.
at the Bucks. Wait, no, I didn't.
Not sure where it's
Wow,
at until we
man.
get into practice and games. Anybody can shoot in workouts and make shots when there's no pressure on them. So we'll see when camp comes around and preseason games through the course of the regular season. But I feel good. I feel good physically. I feel good, with my game, and ready to get started.
Hello, Anthony. Is it still your goal to play all 82 games? And did you do anything different this summer working out to try to reach that goal?
I mean, it's my goal every year, to play 82. And I didn't do anything differently. I mean, I took some time off, got back in the lab, and, ready to get started. Nothing's changed. Every year, you want to come out and play every game and help the team win. Especially my role, I know is a big piece of this team. And with me being on the floor, it definitely helps us.
AD, related to that, do you have any interest in playing the Olympics next year if you're asked? And if so, what does that look like in terms of the way you preserve your body and everything?
I have no idea yet.
Anthony, Rob and Darvin last week were kind of talking a lot about, your role as a leader on this team. Just kind of wondering, as the years have kind of gone by, how do you feel you've grown into that position?
Just being more vocal, talking to the guys. I think I might be the second oldest guy here now, so the guys lean on me a lot, especially the bigs. Seawood and Jackson have already, kind of been on me about leading them and helping them every step of the way. But I feel like it's my responsibility. Being one of the leaders of the team alongside Bron, it's my job to help them guys and help the young guys to continuously being on them, letting them know what we need and how we can get better, and giving them advice so we can all be together and unified to be able to compete for a championship.
Hey, dude, good to see you. Knowing who LeBron is, how he takes care of himself and the way he plays, how do you expect he will approach season 21 compared to the first 20 seasons?
The same. I mean, he puts in a lot of work. Like you say, takes his nutrition very seriously, takes his body very seriously. His work ethic is unmatched, and obviously as you get older, your body starts to wear down. So he's in overdrive now on taking care of his body to be able to. With the new rule, I don't know if he play all 82 out. Who knows? But however many games he's going to play, he's going to be ready. But knowing the competitor that he is, I know he's going to, play all 82 and do everything he can to help the team win.
Hey, over to your right. Just going back to the jump shot, is there anything you did differently during your training during the off season to, I guess, help make you more consistent as the season comes?
No, just a lot more reps. That's what it takes. Anything to you want to perfect or get better, just reps. Shooting a lot more, working on different shots, different ways of shooting, and things like that, and hopefully it all translates.
Hey, you did a lot of cross training this summer. There were videos of you boxing and such. How much did that help your body? How is your body feeling? And how do you anticipate being able to play all 82?
Felt good. I mean, my body feels good. It's really for conditioning. I box every summer. That's just the one time I get posted. It's a lot of things that I do that you guys don't know about. But I'm prepared to play every game this year.
Anthony, when you look at the roster additions that you guys made over the summer, your health, everyone else's health, so this team in the West, do you sense a big opportunity for you guys that this could be one of those years?
It's going to be a fun year, very competitive. A lot of teams around the league have made a lot of good moves to help improve their team. We did as well. So we know every night, going to every game is going to be a battle, and I think we're prepared for it. Obviously, we have a lot of work to do, but
what are you doing, bro?
I like our chances against anybody. We have depth, we have speed, we have shooting, we have ball handling, we have playmaking. We have it all. Now just trying to go on the floor and start making it work.
Hey, the NBA has made it a point to try to put more emphasis on the regular season with the 65-game rule for winning awards, the wrestling rules, the in-season tournament. I'm curious what your reaction was to any of that stuff, and then lastly on the in-season tournament, are you excited about it? Is that something that you guys will treat differently in any way?
As far as the in-season tournament, no. I mean, it's not like, it doesn't count against our record. So every game still matters. It's a little different. I think we, test it out this year and just kind of see how we like it. But, we're not going to
good pass, bro.
Another game. We still have to win those games. As far as the 65-game rule, it don't matter to me. I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it, Just go out there and lace them up, and whoever suits up for 65 get an award. I mean, I'm not the one to play for individual awards, so I don't think that really bothers me at all.
Hey, D, over here. This is a bit of a follow-up to a previous question. When we spoke with Rob last week, he was marveling.
Oh my God, that's fucking Brook Lopez. I'm tripping.
LeBron was putting in prior to the season. When you hear about that and the commitment he's making to this coming season, what kind of effect does that have on the rest of the squad, if any?
I mean, we all working, we all committed to helping this franchise, and anytime you see, not just Bron, obviously, he's a big part of this team. But anytime you see any of our guys, working, we feel good because now guys are putting in work to help the team and doing their part to, bring whatever skill set that they have to this team when we need it. So, Brian doing his part, Austin obviously was playing. D-Lowe's here, Rui.
Motherfucker just got his takeover off a rebound, bro. That's insane.
Right in and got to work with Jackson. So all our guys are Torian, all our guys just come right in and start working. So that way when camp starts tomorrow, guys are not trying to get in shape, guys are not trying to find their rhythm. We can hit the ground running.
Yeah, given the length of your contract extension, do you think this is your team now?
I think this is the Lakers team, and I'll play for the Lakers.
AD, I just want to ask you, when you first came into this Lakers organization, I asked you about the camaraderie of the team. Can you just evaluate the chemistry of this team going into the training camp, but also into the season, and just, what you would say about some of these young guys coming in?
Yeah, we had a couple workouts together where we really felt out the chemistry, and I think we're a lot further than we were last year. guys come in and accepted each other, going out to eat with each other or whatever guys are doing. And I think we're very connected, well connected, and I think we'll be ready to start the ground running tomorrow.
Hey, Kristaps, right in front. Welcome to Boston. Welcome to being part of the Celtics. What was your reaction when the deal went through and for you to be part of the Celtic? And now you're here today, about to tip off training camp, and we see you guys getting closer to the full unit. What you'll be?
Yeah, very excited. Yeah, the whole summer was I was just excited for what's coming, and being here now.
Oh my God, his
Being
English
healthy at the
sounds
beginning
really
of the season,
good, bro.
It's
Shit sounds fluent
just gives
now,
me,
bro. Oh
like,
my God, I just love Damian
extra
Lillard.
motivation,
He missed it.
extra fire to have a great year, and yeah, I'm very very happy so far here. Been around 10 days or so, maybe a couple of weeks, and yeah, love the city, organization. Everybody has welcomed me with open arms, so yeah, excited for the season.
Yeah. Brad mentioned that you've been practicing and working out. How's your foot feeling?
Yeah, feeling great, and no limitations. Just the medical staff did a great job of loading up slowly, and now as I'm getting close to the training camp, we start tomorrow, I'm perfectly fine and ready to go.
And if you've been able to get on the floor with Jalen and Jason, what's your impressions of them? How does it feel playing with those guys?
High-level players, high-level everything, decision-making, everything, and I think it's just gonna be a matter of time before we find that rhythm on the court, and I think my game is gonna complement their games so much. I'm gonna try to open things up for them, and I know that's what's gonna make my game also much more easier. So I'm looking forward to that.
Kristaps, you just said you're perfectly fine, no limitations, all of that. Can you explain the process of what did you first feel? How bad was it? What was the process of getting to this point? What makes you so confident that you're fine moving forward?
Yeah, so I think it started because I changed shoes during the summer, and I think that's what kind of got the foot a little bit sensitive. And I didn't pay too much attention to it. I kind of kept working out, kept playing because the training camp was about to start for a national team, and I was actually in great shape and feeling good. Just the foot was a little bit bothering me, so I told the medical staff, and they told me to rest for a few days, and we just couldn't get that much progress in such a short time. So the smart decision was to sit out and make sure the foot actually gets to recover before I start the season. And that's what I did. It was a really, really tough decision. I know it may not seem for you guys like it was, but it was such a big deal for me not to be able to play for my country back in the World Cup. Really, hurt my soul. So, but I knew it was the right decision, and yeah, I'm glad I made that tough decision in that moment. And now I'm as I said, 100% to start the season.
Hey, Kristaps, how you doing? Last season, played 65 games. Was at this point in your career, was that a turning point for you to know that you had that, convince yourself you had that durability again?
Mm-hmm.
And you talked in the press conference
My
earlier
goodness.
this summer, you talked about you're grateful to be with a championship contender.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just talk about that as well?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I definitely believe that I am in the right time in my career, and as I'm kind of going into my prime at this age, and my body is much more mature than it was when I was 20 years old, and also I think I always kept in mind that the injuries that I had, the longer ones, kind of longer recovery ones, they were all contact injuries, the ACL, it was always something happened and there was some contact. So I always kept that in mind and worked towards getting back to being healthy. And I think last season was a good example. You know, I could have played 70 plus games last season, and yeah, and I felt great. Felt great throughout the year. I missed most of the games. Actually, I missed because I was sick, not because of injuries. So, and I expect that for myself again this season. Just being out there on the court, hopefully all the games. You know, I know it's. The medical staff is going to do their part and tell me when I can and when I shouldn't play, but I want to play out there every game I can, and I will make sure I do so.
Kristaps, obviously you signed an extension here, so you're very comfortable. This is a different role than you've had, though, in your career, where you've been at least always a secondary scorer. We're here, there's a lot of talented players. Another talented player was just acquired yesterday. So just want to know how you see how that working for you, how you may have to change the way you play a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if much is going to change for me, honestly. Just being around really talented guys. I think also what we have to keep in mind is the ages like most of us are in, you know, and I think that makes a difference. I think everybody realizes that we just want to be on the same page and achieve the ultimate goal. You know, we're gonna put our like stuff to the side, or it's not what we're here for. And yeah, and we're gonna figure it out. You know, it's a lot of talent, a lot of players that can put up crazy numbers, and one night it's going to be Drew, one night it's going to be JT, whoever. Like all of these guys can score the ball, and for me it doesn't really matter as much. I think most important for me is that we find that rhythm as a group, and we work towards what we are brought here to do.
Kristaps, you came here, signed an extension, then you see Brad make a huge trade to go for Drew. So after seeing that move, seeing how all in the franchise is, how did that make you feel after already making that commitment?
Sorry, say that again.
The question is, I guess, how assured did you feel to see them making another huge trade after they already made a big trade for you?
Assured of what?
The franchise's commitment to go
of course, yeah, of course. I mean, this was clear, no? I mean, these guys already been super close for a while, right? And then adding myself, adding Drew now, it's clear what we're trying to achieve here, no? It's and that's why I said that's the only goal. And as Coach said in this morning's meeting, that we have to live that life. We have to live that life daily, and then that reality is very real.
And speaking of that trade, how does losing Robert Williams change your role? Playing center, playing next to Al a little bit now, maybe. Like, how do you kind of see that changing your role?
I don't know. Good question. I don't know if that changes much for me. But we'll see. We have incredible, brains behind the roster, the players, so I'm sure the coaching staff.
These motherfuckers got a lot of ass players on this team, bro.
We'll figure out what's the most effective way for us to play and how and to be used. So we'll figure it out either way. But of course, it hurts. I've been here for 2 weeks and I already could see how Rob is that charismatic guy for this group. So it's definitely hurts for this organization that he's not here anymore. But yeah, we wish him nothing but the best.
Kristaps over here on your right. Just wondering, what were those conversations like when you guys were talking the contract extension? What did the front office kind of say to you in terms of not just having you for this year but beyond as well?
Yeah, well, what was the question again? Sorry.
Extension.
Yeah.
What was the front office kind of telling you?
Yeah, no. I got here, and I don't know the exact timing. And you know, of course, I wanted to be here long term, and hopefully, I'm here for a long, long time. You know, but that was it. I didn't understand the question.
Chris Stubbs, how comfortable are you at the 5 now? I mean, obviously, when you came into the league, you were a lot lighter than you are now. How comfortable are you?
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I love playing both positions. Yeah, I think it's a tough job for other 5s to guard me. We have very few like real post-up 5s. You know, it's probably Joel and Nicola, right? Are 2 guys that really post up and play that kind of game. But the rest of the league, you know, at the 5, I think the game is a little bit different. So for me, it doesn't really matter. I think defensively, I'm most effective if I can be around the rim and protecting the rim. And I think that's how I'm going to be used defensively, and offensively, I'll just find my game within what we're trying to do. Cool. Thank you.
Papa John's new garlic epic stuffed crust pizza.
Hit it, on it, with it.
Order now on the app for $13.99.
Morning, LeBron. Jim Hill from KCAL 9 News. What has been, or what is the key to the success for you and your longevity to play as long as you have for this high rate of success and consistency?
I just think it's having to stay focused and understand being passionate about the purity of the game. You know, understanding the ones that came before me, respecting, you know, the history of the game, and also understanding that if you want to be, you know, great at something, you gotta put in the work, and there's no substitution for work. I put in the work, you know, on the court, off the court, you know, keeping my mind fresh, or keeping it as fresh as I can, keeping my body as fresh as I can, keeping my game as sharp as I can, and then just pouring it all to the sport that I've loved for a lot of years now. So I think that's definitely helped me get to this point.
Can you also address, this has been an up and down year for you. I mean, one of the ups was with Mookie Betts at the ballpark at Dodger Stadium and things like that, and then there's the incident with your son. How is he doing, and how has the family managed to get through this crisis?
Bronny is doing extremely well. He has began his rehab process to get back on the floor this season with his teammates in USC, and you know, the successful surgery that he had. But he's on the up and up. You know, it's definitely a whirlwind and a lot of emotions for our family this summer. But the best thing we have is each other, and we stuck behind each other and gave Bronny strength throughout the whole process. And we're happy to see where he is today, and we look forward to seeing you know, what his future still has in store for him.
LeBron, how you doing? Just to follow up on that, how has that just put anything else into perspective for you, just as a parent, going through that as you think about your career and your family and all of it heading into year 21?
Nothing else matters besides my family, and obviously I'm gonna dedicate this, you know, the season because to Bronny because of you know, the incident that happened this summer, and you know, understanding that it just puts everything in perspective, and no matter what's going on, you know, in your life at that point in time, that the only thing that matters is your family. So to see what he had to go through, or what he's been through over the last few months, you know, it's been a lot. I can only imagine how it's been for him, because it's been a lot for me. It's been a lot for our family. But the man above definitely has given us a lot of strength, and has given Bronny the strength to bounce back. And if he was to walk through the door right now, you wouldn't even know that he had what he had because of how well he's moving, how vibrant he is, and you know, it's just it's a beautiful thing to be able to have you know, him where he is today. And I give the biggest compliment and the biggest shout out and the biggest praise to the USC training staff and coaching staff. You know, when the incident happened, they were Jimmy on the spot. They didn't waste no time.
Jimmy.
And they were amazing in their efforts to make sure that our son was very well taken care of, and also Cedar Sinai as well. The Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, and anybody else that had anything to do with his recovery, and it's been an amazing thing.
LeBron, first of all, very good news and happy to hear that about Bronny. From a basketball sense, when you reassessed the Denver series, how much do you think continuity played a part in that? And then, I guess, along those lines, coming into this year with a team that really only made changes around the edges and was able to bring much of its core back, how did you feel about the continuity that you're going to enter this season with?
Very optimistic about how we can pick off where we left off, and I don't mean the loss in the series. I mean from the trade deadline to how we played all the way up into the Western Conference Finals. I'm very optimistic on seeing how we can pick up from there. Like what you just said with the continuity, with the chemistry, there shouldn't be much teaching. Obviously we're going to, not waste any steps. We're not going to shortcut any corners or whatever the case may be, but there should not be much teaching, when it comes to us getting back on the floor. We have that chemistry. Obviously, we have some guys that we are bringing into the fold, but we returned a lot of our core. Myself, AD, AR, Vando, Rui, D'Lo, Max. So we have a lot of guys that know the system that can pick up right where we left off with just a little refresher. So, and I believe the guys that we brought in are smart enough to be able to catch on very fast.
LeBron, last time we spoke to you, you mentioned that your basketball future was uncertain. What went into deciding to return and just that process?
I don't know, just had conversations with my family, conversations with myself, getting inspired, once again from my kids, being on in the AAU circuit with Bryce, seeing how he continues to grow his individual game.
My goodness.
Being extremely proud of Bronny being able to go off to USC and see where he was before, obviously, the incident, inspired by that. And then I feel like I got a lot more in the tank to give. At that moment I didn't. I was exhausted. I was tired. Mentally, I was in too many different places mentally, and that's what drew that comment or that statement, because that's just how I felt at the moment. But I'm happy to be returning for another season and helping this team, hopefully lead this team to the promised land. That's just the goal.
LeBron, you've played on teams throughout your 20 years in the league that made the rest of the league think that maybe the ending is inevitable. You played against teams that were out there. There's continuity throughout the entire league and a leveled playing field to some extent. I think you talk to people, there could be more than a handful of legitimate contenders. How does that view of the entire league give you some, oomph with this group, considering that you did have that great run the second half of the year, but it was still put together rather quickly?
Yeah, I don't really, especially at this point in my season, I don't really give my energy to the rest of the league until it's time to compete versus them and I'm across from them. But my energy is solely towards this team every day, on how we can get better every day, how we can not skip a step every day. And just because of how the way we finished last year doesn't mean it's going to apply to this year.
Bro.
But we do have this is the first time since the 2020 run that we're returning a team. Besides that run, we've been, revolving door. We've been a lot of turnover. So I'm excited about us returning our core and then bringing in a lot of very, very, very good players, that can help us continue to roll on what we was able to do. But it takes work. Like I said, there's no substitution for work, and we have to put in the work. And if we do that, we'll give ourselves a chance every single night to compete at the highest level.
LeBron, we talked to athletes who are in the last 2, 3, however many years you think you're going in your career. And I remember Derek Jeter once saying that he felt so much more urgency in those last few years than maybe in the middle, and that you just had this sense that, okay, I'm not going to be doing this 10 years in the future. How have you experienced that feeling at all, and what kind of urgency do you feel this stage in your career has brought?
Well, I have an urgency to perform at the high level, so I can be out there for my teammates. And, and I prepare my mind and my body and my soul to go out there and be available to my teammates. I know when I'm on the floor, it makes us a better team. The sense of urgency comes from me always preparing myself for the long haul and being able to put myself in a position where I can lead these guys every single night. If I can do that, then that is the sense of urgency for me. In order to put ourselves in a position where we want to be. I mean, we're all here for one common goal, and that's to win a championship. But that's months and months and months and months at the end of the road. But the most important thing is how we can continue to get better and apply, every step, each and every day, each and every week, each and every month to get to that goal. But it takes time. I feel different. I'm not as not the 21-year-old. That's for sure. Feels a little bit different getting out of bed every day. As far as my energy level, I feel pretty good with my energy though.
What's up, Brian? The NBA had a lot of rules they put in place this year, but the resting rule, which is one that was put out there, what are your thoughts on that? And was that necessary for them to do to have players play during the regular season?
At the end of the day, I play in this league. Obviously, I'm one of 450 or 430, whatever the number is. But I'm also a businessman. I understand the business side of the game too. And the business side, having our star and marquee guys on the floor when they are available, being on the floor, the fans want to see that. The fans want to see that. I've always wanted to try to play in every game in my entire career, and sometimes because of injury or sometimes because of just the way the schedule landed, I have not been able to play every game.
Damn, bro.
I love playing in every game, and we'll see, and hopefully that happens again this year.
Yeah, LeBron, does any part of you think this could be your last season?
I don't know. No, I can't because I don't know. I'm happy right now. I'm excited. Looking forward to tomorrow and getting the training camp going and getting going. But I don't know what the end of this road look like, or at the end of the season. I have no idea.
So fucking annoying. I hate
Darvin and Rob were talking
LeBron.
last week about how much you've worked with Hachimura. Just kind of wondering how that started. Did he approach you? Did you approach him? How often did you guys work out together? And just what have you learned about him, I guess, over the course of this time?
We've worked out together pretty much all summer. I see a lot of him. No, I can't because I don't know. I'm happy right now. I'm excited. Looking forward to tomorrow and getting the training camp going and getting going. But I don't know what the end of this road look like, or at the end of the season. I have no idea.
LeBron, Darvin and Rob were talking last week about how much you've worked with Hachimura. Just kind of wondering how that started. Did he approach you? Did you approach him? How often did you guys work out together? And just what have you learned about him, I guess, over the course of this time?
We've worked out together pretty much all summer. I see a lot of him. I know what he can bring to the floor, not only for him individually, but also for our ball club. I call him my Daniel son, and I'm Mr. Miyagi, and I'm kind of my understudy. I get him every single day, and we work every single day while we've been together throughout this off season, and I want him to be as great as he can be, or as great as he want to be. So excited about what he has in store.
Bitch, shut the fuck up. And suck that motherfucker. Oh, yeah.
So what kind of physical challenge would that be?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I do have interest. So we see what happens. But as far as physical toll, I don't know. I see how I feel at the end of the season, but from the players that we have here that I can think off the top of my head that could fill that roster up, I don't think it'd be too much of a physical toll. I wouldn't have to do much. I mean, rebound a little bit, pass a little bit, defend, block some shots.
Thanks very much. With JB Bickerstaff, Coach, what will be the areas of emphasis on defense in the second half?
LeBron, to your right, speaking with Rob, early in the summer, he mentioned that it felt good about the treatment you and AD got after injuries you dealt with. Just where are you with the foot, and just how did it go treating that over the summer?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of my attention this summer was with my foot, and getting that back to a pre-injury. That pre-Dallas game where I pretty much tore the whole tendon on my right foot. So this summer has been a lot about rehabbing that and getting that back to where it needs to be. So looking forward. It's been reacting very well in my off-season workouts. Looking forward to seeing how it reacts throughout training camp and also preseason and then going into the regular season. But excited to see where I am as it stands today.
Hey, Bron. When you intimated last season, obviously it was a very emotional time that you were potentially considering retirement. How quickly after that did you realize I have a lot of gas left in the tank and I have a lot longer I want to play?
I don't know. I don't remember how quickly or how long it was. I can for sure tell you it wasn't super quick. I got away from the game for quite a while and just started focusing myself and my family pretty much and what we're going to do this summer and start getting my schedule ready to, travel with the kids. I know what kind of got me out of the funk though was coaching Bryce's team down in Augusta for Peach Jam, and just seeing the love and just seeing the, just play for the love of the game and being around all those kids, with our AAU program. They were just out there just competing and wanting to win and just putting everything on the line and had nothing to do about social media clicks or money or fame or none of that stuff. They were just playing to be able to put themselves in position to possibly win Peach Jam, and to have a special shout out to Rajon coming down and helping me coach throughout those few days. Truly appreciate you, Doe. But just seeing that kind of got me going a little bit and but I don't have a line or a timetable of when it started to turn that I will be returning this year and being back in uniform. I appreciate it.
Acknowledge that. With that, I would love for Damian Lillard to step up here and introduce him to the Milwaukee Bucks organization.
First of all, I want to thank Wes, thank John, Milt, Griff. I appreciate you guys making this happen. Obviously, I've spent my entire career in Portland, 11 years, long time, so I'm extremely thankful for that organization, that city, the fans, for giving me the kind of experience that I had. And, I don't think it's a secret how much I want to win. And that's how we got here today. And I think they want to win equally as bad as I do. And, I couldn't be more excited. I couldn't be more thankful for this opportunity to be a part of this organization, to play alongside the best player in the league.
No, don't turn around.
It's going to be fun. And the hospitality that they showed, my family, we touched down to a parade. My first time getting traded. So, you don't know what to expect, you know. So to walk in to something like that was special. It was a great welcoming, and you know, it's something that I really appreciated, and it only made me more excited to be here and more excited to get to work. So, you know, I'm thankful.
Yeah, about 5,000 attended. You got a good taste of hospitality here in Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin. Let's go with Eric with the first question.
No camaraderie, bro.
Hey, Damon. Eric Mann, The Athletic. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Milwaukee. I'm curious, just how have you processed the last 5 days? Like, just the idea of, you mentioned getting traded for the first time, now being in this situation. Just, can you take us through the emotions of all of that?
Yeah, it was definitely a different experience. You know, I was just kind of sitting there in my man cave. I didn't really know what was going to happen. I started to think like, man, it might get to training camp and I might just be sitting and waiting, you know. And then I got that call from my agent. It was like, man, you getting traded to Milwaukee. And I had heard so many different things that I was like, you know, am I really getting traded? And he was like, yeah, they traded you. And I could tell in the seriousness in his voice that it was real. And he was like, I'll let you sit with it for a while. You know, I'll call you back. I'm going to settle some things, and then we'll talk about it. And after we got off the phone, I sat there, and I was like, you know, I'm really moving on. And it became reality for me, and I kind of just started to think, like, my entire family is here. How am I going to pack everything up? You know, I started to panic a little bit. Like, it's, you know, first time. And then I wanted to, you know, let my family know. So I started walking around the house and like nobody was there. You know, everybody was out doing something. I'm calling people, nobody picking up the phone. I was like, man, any other time I'll be able to reach whoever I need to. So I had to sit with it by myself for a while. So when that happened, I just kind of went back to the man cave and I sat there. And then that was when the calls started coming in. My friends, you know, family members, like, you know, is it real? Is it true? And then I started to think about the team, you know. So it was like, who did I get traded for? You know, how, like, who's going to be there? And then I looked it up and, you know, I saw what kind of team I was coming to be a part of. And then that was when the excitement kicked in, you know, just recognizing the opportunity that it is and just knowing how much I want to win and going into every season being optimistic and thinking that we got a chance to get it done, and then coming into this situation and knowing that you got an opportunity to do it, the excitement definitely kicked in when I sat with it for a little bit.
Jim
Lazarski, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Welcome, Dave. When and why did Milwaukee, I guess, pop up for you as a potential place to go? Like, when did you maybe think about that, and why did that become a place that you were like, okay, I'd be comfortable going there?
It was, I would say, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Welcome to Bigo, where connections come alive. Anytime, anywhere.
You don't need stacks of cash to start investing in your favorite stocks. You can invest in the companies you love.
You know, it was just all this talk and, you know, all of these things. And there was a lot of things said that didn't come from me. You know, I hadn't spoke on the situation a whole lot. But as we got into it, my agent called me and he was just like, you know, what about Milwaukee? And obviously Giannis, you know, is public record that I've always mentioned. You know, if I had to team up with one person, it would be him. So when we talked about it, I was like, I would definitely be interested in that, obviously. And he was just like, okay, you know, and I could tell he kind of put it in his back pocket. And obviously in these situations, you never control completely, you know, how things end up or where you end up going. So, you know, it came about and, you know, it was an option and it was like, you know, press play. You know, why not? Why pass up on that type of opportunity? So, you know, it was something that came up, I would say 2 weeks ago, and I was interested in that for sure. And now that we're here, I'm excited for this opportunity.
Bro, Donovan Mitchell fast as fuck.
Damn, you brought it up earlier, playing with Giannis or Yahoo Sports. Sorry about that. You're in a situation where you said publicly, you said to Chris, I'm going to a situation where I'm not the best player.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can have the ball in your hands the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game. Is that something that appealed to you, that sort of situation where you don't have to carry, but you can still be yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always be myself, you know. And being myself doesn't always mean that, you know, I got to be out front or everything has to be about me. I think because of who I am as a person, the way that I prepare myself, the way that I approach the game, I'm going to find a way to have an impact. And like I said, playing with somebody like Giannis, the kind of attention that he's going to get is only going to make the game easier and more simple for me. And I think because of the way that I impose myself when I do play and how I attack games, he's going to have the kind of opportunity that I think he hasn't had as well. So, I mean, the best thing I can tell you is how exciting it's going to be, how excited I am, and that I'm prepared for it. You know, I don't go into any situation expecting for things to be about me. So I know the player that he is. I know the player that I am. And I know how to make my presence felt regardless of the role, It's not the same as this level, but when I was in college, I walked into a situation where it was, upperclassmen, seniors that were had been here a couple of years. They had been established. They were known around our conference, and I stepped in, and I didn't step on nobody's toes, but I announced my presence, and I announced myself and did what I had to do. It was the same when I got to Portland, LA was an all-star. Wes was a vocal presence. Batum was the same. And I stepped in and announced my presence. And that was while understanding that I'm playing with LaMarcus Aldridge, but he also needs me to be who I am, for us to be our full selves and our best selves as a team. So I think this is similar to that, except I'm older. My understanding of it is even better. And I think I'm the best version of myself as a player as well.
That's just not what I put in the game. It's just not.
And, I think he's the kind of guy that he's not going into it worried about being the man or anything like that either. So I think it'll work out perfectly.
As we continue, just a reminder, name and affiliation before you ask your question. Jack, go ahead.
How's it going, Damian? Jack Maloney, CBS Sports. A little bit specifically on that partnership with Giannis. You're one of the best pick-and-roll guys in the league. It's pretty easy to envision that sort of partnership. Have you thought about that possibility and just what sort of impact you two can have specifically on the pick-and-roll?
Yeah, I think it's obviously I'm a pick-and-roll player. I played a lot of pick-and-roll in my career. And when I think about playing with him, I was just trying to figure out how do you defend it. I haven't played against a lot of coverages where teams aren't at the level of the screen, whether it's showing, trapping, or just being there to where I got to get a ball up. And I can't imagine him wanting him to have the ball, at the free throw line coming downhill with an advantage. And Chris on the wing and Brooke, you got really good players out there. So I've definitely thought about it, and I just don't know how you handle that. And I think it's going to be something that teams have to put up with and try to figure out. But I'm excited. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for me out there because of who he is and vice versa.
I'm finna do it to him,
Chris.
bro.
Your neck is done. Get to Good. Goody's Fast Pain Relief Powder.
Chris Haynes, TNT, NBA TV, Bleacher. Dame, now that this move is made, what they laughing at, man?
I have no idea, man.
Dame, now that this move has been made, this summer was the first time you were working out and not knowing where you were going to be. Who were you working out for? How were you able to prepare? Because years prior, you're working out with a purpose because you know the system. How were you able to prepare yourself for the unknown?
I just try not to think about it too much. I didn't put pressure on myself about, what system am I going to play in? Where am I going to be? Like I said before, I know if I show up prepared and I show up as myself, I'm going to figure it out. I had that type of confidence in myself in whatever situation, but I think it was just a summer for me where I made my strengths stronger. I kept them as my strengths, and then the things that I felt like I need to tighten up and sharpen up, I took the time to do those things. But I think at this stage of my career, I am who I'm going to be. It's just a matter of how well I can take care of myself, how sharp I can be, and, just whatever that situation was, just being able to get my feet on the ground and then start, locking into it and understand what our purpose is, what's expected of me, what kind of basketball we're going to play, what kind of personnel are we going to have. And I think coming into this situation is very very easy. You know, you look at somebody like Giannis, you look at Chris, you look at Brooke, when I looked at the roster, it was very easy for me to make sense of, what my job is going to be.
Move over to this side, Gabe.
Gabe Stoltz, BrewHoop.com. Welcome to Milwaukee, Dame.
Appreciate it.
Just curious, you've been here a few days. What have your initial impressions been about the team chemistry and the culture and whatnot, and how do you see that evolving?
I mean, as far as team chemistry, mic check. I'm a rapper too, so check them. When I got here, I could tell right away that it was a family environment. I could tell that it was a family environment right away, and just a humble environment. You know, everybody was just chill. It was real calm, and I think when it comes to chemistry, you don't really know until you get out there on the floor, and stuff starts happening. Somebody gets missed while they open. Somebody's not playing. Things got to happen for you to understand, like, where does this team really stand? How the chemistry really is, and just looking at the personalities that I've seen so far, it seems like that won't be an issue. I think it'll be pretty good chemistry. But as far as the city, like being embraced like that, it definitely makes you comfortable a lot faster when you see that you're wanted and people are excited about you being here. And like I said, man, a lot of it was unexpected. I didn't know what to expect. It's been a great couple of days. My family's been really comfortable. I've gotten some work in. I've been around a little bit, so I'm excited, man. Every time I've been to Milwaukee over the course of my career, I just stay in the hotel the whole time because it's like snowing or something like that. So seeing the sun out and being by the water and stuff like that, it almost
Of course, that was a two, bro.
made me smile a little bit. Like, man, this could be all right. You know what I'm saying? Every time I came here, it was snowing. It was like depressing a little bit. So, I'm excited to be here, man. Like I said, seeing the opportunity basketball-wise and, seeing the type of environment that they've created, the type of success that they've had, and knowing that I could bring something that could get us over the hump and have an opportunity to win. I'm definitely excited to be here.
No way
It's
I
been
didn't
a
make
great
that,
experience
bro.
so far.
There's no way I didn't make that.
Jamal Collier from ESPN. Welcome from Milwaukee. Kind of just coming off that, like you talked about wanting obviously to win and winning in your career.
What?
It's a situation where you and Giannis together,
That's
championship,
bull, bro.
that's the expectation. Just kind of curious how you sort of approach. How you looking at that? How you coming into the season? Are you excited about the opportunity to kind of show, obviously, in the playoffs, on that level, but in that way, and especially also kind of considering the other teams in the East, Boston just made a trade. How do you feel about just the competition level there?
Why that defense got to be
I
so
think in this
good,
league,
bro? Like,
the
y'all don't have to
competition
be that
level
good, bro.
is always extremely high. Obviously, you have the media. They look at, this guy went to this team, this guy went to that team, and those things jump off the page. But you just never know what can happen with injuries, and guys break out. Some teams are better than you expect. Like Denver won the championship last year. Nobody jumped out and said that last season. It was all the teams that looked better on paper. So for me, I think I'm approaching this season like just doing the work. Obviously, in my career, my life, I've never been a part of any situation that was not an underdog. From my AAU program, I played for my neighborhood AAU program. I went to Weber State. I get drafted to Portland. Like, I've done a lot more overachieving in my career than like living up to it. What was expected. So I'm excited about that. I think once again, at my age and at this stage in my career, I think it came at the perfect time because I'm prepared for a situation like this. And Giannis and I spoke, and it was I think the focal point of that conversation was just that. Yes, it looks good, and it's an attractive thing. Me and him playing together, the kind of team that we have, but the work has to get done. And I think that's one thing that we're extremely like-minded about that I've learned in the last couple of days is like when it comes to having some success, I'm a person that wants to get in the mud and make sure that I'm doing the things that's going earn us that right, to have that type of success, and he is too. So. It made me feel good to know that he thinks that way, because I almost get a little bit nervous about, people around the situation having expectations, and how the people that's involved in it are going to carry it. So we got on the same page about that right away. So I think that's the approach.
Dame Dario Melendez, WISN. Welcome to Milwaukee. You kind of mentioned a little bit entering your past training camps. Player personnel question, system question. You're coming in now. You're playing with a bona fide superstar for the first time, really, in your career. No offense to CJ LaMarcus, but that's got to be refreshing, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I know people always say I'm excited, but I'm really excited. Like it's my whole career has been.
Are you having trouble finding a place for your precious bundle of fur?
Off the dribble threes, pick and roll, pull up threes, contested, double team, trapped, and I'm just curious to see how that can be possible with a player as dominant as he is. I'm excited. I'm excited for the opportunity to play with him. I'm excited for the opportunity to be freed up and to be able to, have more space and opportunity to play. So it's going to be fun, man. It's as far as the system, I know my coach in my first 9 years of my career is on this staff as well, Terry Stotts. And we joked a little bit, when I ran into him about some of the sets that, is going to be put in. So I was like, cool, I think it's going to be a good time. But to answer your question, playing next to Giannis is going to be a great opportunity that I've never had before. And once again, where I'm at right now, I think it came at the perfect time.
I'm there, bro.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. You know Drew Holiday's reputation as a defender.
Yes.
What has your approach been to that side
Can
of the
you
ball?
move?
And now that you're going to be in his spot, do you see that necessarily?
Damn, Giannis, you're so annoying, bro. I fucking hate you.
I think when you come
not
into the
doing
NBA,
that, bro. You have to earn
especially as a young player that
Not
plays
getting
a
that
lot,
easy, bro.
I think the place where you
Why
struggle
is he
the
in
most
the
is on the defensive end of the
game?
floor. And I don't think it's always a lack of desire. I think it's just not knowing terminology. Sometimes you just running around like a chicken with your head cut off. You don't know what to expect.
Your shit
don't know
87,
tendencies,
boy. If you don't
know
get in the game, boy.
personnel. And I think if you really take a look into my progression defensively, you'll see that I've gotten better year after year after year after year, even if you look into it the last couple seasons. And I think the main reason for that is understanding what's going on. I know players around the league. I understand calls. When I hear a call gets called out, we all run the same types of actions. We all use the same terminology, so I'm able to be ahead of it and understand what's happening. Also playing on a defensive-minded team this year, I think it'll make it more simple. Like Coach Griff was saying, I understand where to be on the floor. I understand how to rotate. I understand how to play team defense, but I'm a competitor. And at the very least, on that end of the floor, I'm going to compete. I'm not going to come in here and beat Drew Holiday. I think, in my personal opinion, I think he's the best defender on the perimeter.
Oh, my God.
But it's going to be, it's not going to be what people just throw out there loosely. I think it's, in the past, it's been something where people just say, oh, Dame, on defense, he's this on offense, but the people that I play against to tell you, like, I ain't a pushover, you know what I'm saying? And I've also had a lot of responsibility on the offensive end for my entire career, and I think playing with the kind of players I'll be playing with here, it'll also give me an opportunity to, show myself much better on the defensive end of the floor.
Scott Growski, CBS Milwaukee. Obviously, we've talked a lot about you and Giannis, some of the other key guys of this team. How do you see yourself fitting in with guys like Chris, Brooke? Obviously, you've played with Pat before as well.
I think I'm familiar with the way they play. I think that's the best way to tell you is offensively, I'm going to make the right play. Once we get on the floor, I think I pick up things pretty quickly. I see what guys like to do. I see how I can fit myself in, with the guys around me. I've always done that. And I don't think this would be any different, but it's nothing that I can tell you specifically. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I just know how to react to what's going on around me. And once we get on the floor, I'll find my spots and I'll find my spaces to where I got to, be myself, but how I can be, a compliment to those guys as well.
Hi, Dame. Dylan Hunter Carter, WTMJ Radio. Welcome to Milwaukee.
Appreciate it.
You've become known throughout the league for,
finding a small market team and making that a home for 10 years, and that's something I know you are very proud of as well. So what is the experience like for you to now enter a different small market and kind of go through that process again? Where do you even start?
I think it just feels familiar. You know, it doesn't feel like a crazy environment. You know, it's like I left one small market to another one, and one thing I can say is the people that I went to work with every day in Portland are what made that environment one that I felt comfortable making home, you know, for as long as I did. And I think the fact that this feels similar, you know, you come in here, everybody's like family, everybody's cool, everybody's around each other, they hang out here. You know, that's the type of environment that I've known my entire career. So I think it'll only make it an easier and, you know, more comfortable transition. Thank you.
What do you...
Have you lost Medicaid or CHIP? At healthcare.gov, 4 out of 5 customers can find a quality plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Enroll in a plan today at healthcare.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
That's so full and no motherfucking fall. Ooh, that was hard. Look at that. Mama.
Let's start with Jeff right here. Jeff McDonald.
Hey, Victor, how you doing?
Hey, been good, man. Thank you.
Doing anything interesting lately around town? I'm not sure.
Yeah. I've been trying to discover all the popular areas of the city, and yeah, everything interesting so far.
How do you feel about your first month or two as a San Antonio?
Man, it's just been so comfortable to have people welcome you like this, and I'm very thankful. You know, I'm a very lucky human.
That's cash.
Last one along these
What?
lines, are you going to rock the Cowboy hat like on a regular basis?
Oh yeah. You're gonna see me often with it. Yeah.
Andrew Lopez, ESPN right here.
I know you said you wanted to not see us for a couple of months, but what has...
It's been done. Couple months are over.
What have these last 2-3 months been like for you, both on and off the court, trying to get ready for the season?
So, let me take you through chronologically. So at first, after Summer League, I did get away from pretty much everything for some time, for a couple weeks. That restored me totally, you know. I often like to think the best players are the ones who work the hardest, but you also need to know how to rest the hardest, and I rested hard as hell for a couple weeks. And but then I was back here in San Antonio, and yeah, I've just been working better than any other moment in my life, harder, but also smarter. And I think this off season will make a difference, not just for the upcoming season, but the work we've done is gonna impact my next few years, I think.
Over here to Nate Ryan Penn.
Victor, how you doing, man? You talked about the work you put in the off season. Have you seen you in the gym? Your biceps look a little bit bigger, and have you added any muscle, I guess, in other areas? And what's been your weight change, I guess, since you got with the Spurs?
You know, it's yes. Ever since I've been in San Antonio, I've gained 10, 15 pounds. So I'm trying to stop there. You know, trying to not add too much too quick. So it's yeah, we're in a good path, and it's as I was saying, my conditioning and physical condition are way better than any time before in my life. So we're good.
Bravo.
What's that chemistry been like with you and the other players? Seem like y'all are getting along really well. Is there kind of an immediate bond between you all?
Yes, all of us got good relations. You know, we often have team dinners and team meetings. So I'm really glad everything's happening the way it's happening. And yeah, as I was saying, I feel very lucky. I know I'm in a good environment from every aspect. You know.
I know you've dealt with this your entire life, the fame and the attention that heaped upon you. But is there something awkward about coming into a team and receiving the most attention more than guys who've won the NBA before? And kind of how do you smooth that over with the guys?
You know, I think pretty quick. I learned to know my teammates and they learned to know me. So they know I don't care about it. Like I'm here to make sacrifices for them, and I think they're gonna, yeah, when it's needed, they're also gonna make sacrifices for me, and they know it's different. They know they know it's gonna happen. Of course, there's gonna be a lot of attention, but at the end of the day, when everything is done, we're at practice. I'm like, yeah, okay, what do we do to get this team better? So it's really stuff we don't care about. It's basketball first.
Victor, Pop said that one of the cool questions at training camp will be having the coaching staff find out, are you a 5? What are you best fit at? 5, 4, 3? Do you have a preference, and is it just a kind of feeling out there to see how you mesh with your teammates?
I think the best, I know I can bring some help to this team, and the best way for me to help it, and it's to not put me in a box, I think. So he knows it. He's learned to know me, and I'm learning to know him. And it's we know we're gonna make something original, something special.
It's been a long journey for you to even get to this point, to sitting in that chair right now. But as it hit you that tomorrow starts your first NBA training camp?
It is really special. Again, just this morning I realized that I don't even realize I'm a San Antonio Spur. It's just crazy, but I'm excited, but of course it's hard to realize, and it's going to be even harder when I step on the court and play against those guys. I know we play against Steph in the preseason. It's going to feel really, really weird.
We'll go right here, Raul Thor.
So you've had a chance to work out with these guys. What have you most excited about? What have y'all been able to accomplish on the court that gives you encouragement for the season, and what are you most looking forward to?
Even before coming here, I knew it, but those guys play really, really hard. Even in practice, they got that fire inside of them, and it's, that fire entertains itself through inside the team, and everyone is giving 100%, even at practice. So I'm sure everyone is ready to make sacrifices and just do whatever it takes to win. So I'm really, really confident.
Bill Shonin over here, our radio.
Spurs Radio, Vic. First of all, welcome to town, and we're all looking forward to seeing you play. But the question is, it was, I guess 22 years ago now that Tony Parker was brought in as a 19-year-old from France. How much have you leaned on Tony and talked to Tony about what this experience is going to be like for you?
Tony is definitely part of the guys who've been giving me advice here and there, and especially since he's lived in the city for so long. But it's good to have only good people like this. Even Boris, who's with the national team, So it's good to have such good people, that are here in case I ever need to ask a question. I'm wondering about anything. I know they're here for me.
Victor, I know you spent a fair amount of time with Manu. I'd like to know what your impressions are of Manu as a person and what he has told you about being Spurs.
So Manu, he's when I talked to him a fair amount of times, and he's really I mean, when I talk to him, I don't even think about he's his first legend. He's been here for so long. He's won championships because it's so natural just talking to him. He's always giving good advice. He's really he's dedicated still to the team. We've had meetings with everyone, and we've been talking also about how to sleep better. Yeah, he's been giving me a fair amount of advice, but it's always so natural,
Hi.
ask some of your teammates
What?
about, what they've been the most impressed about with you and everything, and they just can't believe some of the things that they've seen you do. So I'm just wondering, how do you visualize after the rookie season going?
So, I'm not sure I'm the guy to ask what expectations we have for this season, because all my expectations are really to learn how to win as quick as possible, because there's people, everyone here except the rookies is more experienced than me. So I got a whole lot to learn, and I can just turn to whoever, really, even the guys who have just 2-3 years in this league. I know they get good advice from me, and they have already proven it in this past month. And it's I'm just really excited, happy to be here.
Victor, you've always paid such close attention to your body. You said earlier that you've never worked better or smarter. What is this sort of infrastructure change moving to the NBA? How has that helped you physically, mentally, all of that stuff?
Oh, it's, everything here is done with a purpose. I remember last year, it was a really, really nice year, but it was also really tough because we didn't have the same infrastructures, we couldn't run the same tests. I learned as much about my body in those past 3 months that I had learned for the past 5 years. So it's really, what I'm saying, we work smarter because we know a lot more, and the Spurs know a lot more than any of my teams before, because they could run some tests more thoroughly, and it's everything. All this is really technical.
Go back here to Kansas, Tom.
Sort of along those lines, what's been the thing that has really impressed you about joining an NBA team, the scale of it, or the attention to detail? Is there anything that really jumped out as like, wow, this is different?
Yeah, it is. Well, I think the biggest difference here is back in Europe, back in Europe, I don't think the whole organizations, like front office, coaches, staff, they aren't as dedicated to make the players and to have great ambitions long term. And it's because sometimes in Europe, it's like there's some fights between players and coaches, players and front office. Here, everyone works in harmony, and everyone is working towards the same goal. I know it's not the same in every franchise, but here, everyone is. They know how to win these. They've done it before, and they want to do it again. So everyone is working towards the same goal. It's just.
I low-key want to play another one, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, Victor, right here. In the back.
That was kind of fun. To be
We've
random.
seen on social media making your rounds across San Antonio to see a lot of things in the past couple of months. Has it hit you how much you're changing the culture of the city? We have murals going up, we have burgers named after you. Has that kind of sunk in yet?
It's hitting me more and more every day, but at first I really didn't realize how big of an impact this could be. And but yeah, it's really, really funny, walking around or driving around and just seeing my face sometimes. But I love it, It's always in a sane, healthy way, People here, I know they treat me like family, even though they don't know me personally. They treat me like family. So it's really comfortable, and yeah, it's a really good place.
Nick, right here, face off.
Okay.
As you
Okay.
go into this next stage of the training camp, and then you mentioned playing against Steph in the preseason, what is it you're most looking forward to when it comes to your first year? Is it your debut? Is it seeing how your body matches up against NBA talent? What gets you excited about this first year?
I would say is discovering all the stuff I used to see on TV, and all the stores, all the arenas, the atmospheres. all this is going to be really precious to me, and I know I'm gonna live through incredible things and also obstacles, but
they got a squad.
I know it's gonna be a beautiful year, and I know I'm forging forever memories right now.
Thank you all. We're gonna go to a little French. Victor, bonjour. Maxime Auger, dans l'équipe. On a parlé depuis tout à l'heure en fait de ton développement physique et à quel point tu n'as jamais été aussi en forme. Pour bien là-dessus, est-ce que tu pourrais nous donner un petit peu de détails de quelle a été ta ligne directrice en fait de ton développement physique pendant l'été? Que ce soit de la robustesse physique, de la prévention des blessures, à la souplesse. Sur quoi tu as travaillé en fait précisément?
Alors la prévention des blessures, c'est quelque chose qui est tout le temps fait par tout le monde. C'est le travail qui se voit pas en fait, parce que tant qu'on se blesse pas, c'est que le travail est bien fait. Mais disons que ma ligne directrice, c'était beaucoup augmenter les niveaux des capacités en termes d'énergie, de cardio notamment, parce que voilà, on en a toujours besoin dans une saison de 82 matchs. Mais sinon, il y a eu tellement de domaines dans lesquels j'ai progressé physiquement et aussi techniquement.
Deuxième question, je parlais à un habitant en fait hier dans un bar et qui me expliquait à quel point, il m'a dit Maxime, je ne prends pas compte à quel point les sports comptent dans la vie des gens. Il me donnait un exemple en disant sa grand-mère est enterrée avec un maillot de sport par exemple. Wow. C'est incroyable, ça m'a rappelé un petit peu aux ambiances, à ce qu'il peut y avoir comme passion en France en fait dans le football par exemple en Europe. Est-ce que tu es d'accord avec ça? Et comment est-ce que tu analyses un peu cette fanbase maintenant que tu la connais un petit peu depuis quelques semaines?
Ouais, c'est tout à fait comparable. Et ici, les gens sont... C'est vrai que les Spurs, c'est la chose principale à laquelle tout le monde pense, quoi. Des gens, ils marchent dans la rue avec des casquettes des Spurs, des maillots des Spurs, c'est normal, quoi, ici. Et ouais, c'est pour ça que je disais plutôt qu'ils me traitent comme leur famille, en fait. On est un peu tous leurs proches, les gens ici.
Bonjour, Clément Repin pour Canal+. Il y a un documentaire qui sort sur vous à la fin de la semaine, et dans ce documentaire, on voit l'importance de votre noyau familial, d'avoir vos frères et sœurs.
Why is Robin Williams not starting?
Comment vous comptez ici mettre en place un peu la même chose, recréer un côté familial, et est-ce que c'est la ville un peu idéale pour le faire?
I'm not about to play this shit off.
C'est la vérité, la famille est vraiment importante pour moi. Et malgré, elle est importante. Et on est tous très proches malgré qu'on ait tous été un peu séparés depuis de nombreuses années, parce qu'on est tous partis en centre de formation, mes frères et sœurs et moi, donc loin de la maison. Mais cette fois, c'est un peu plus loin que d'habitude, mais ça va marcher quand même. De toute façon, mes frères et sœurs, ils ont leurs obligations au niveau du basket en Europe. Mais mes parents, il y aura sûrement toujours mes parents à San Antonio.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play this whole shit. You got me.
Ils allers-retours.
You got me.
Ils s'occuperont autant de moi que de mes frères et sœurs.